Stories have a powerful way of shaping young minds, and that's exactly what Dr. Ruth Obiarinze is doing through the Overcomer children's book series. She joins me this morning to tell us so much more about how she's helping kids become their best selves in 2026 and beyond. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
So glad to have you. Okay, so tell me, what inspired you to want to say, I want to create a series that's directed towards kids and I want them to have a positive outlook on themselves?
Exactly, Erin. So honestly, I'm just an around the way girl. I grew up here in Dallas, Texas. So naturally, I've always been used to environments that were very diverse, urban, culturally aware. It wasn't until I had successfully finished my medical doctorate degree and pursued further training in other parts of the country and lived in these places, and I discovered that there were some areas that just were not as exposed as what I was used to. Right. And I was gonna have to be able to adapt some of these moral-based values that I discuss about in the books if I was gonna be successful in those areas, despite being in a difficult situation. So I decided to transfer my experiences into a text.
Nice, okay, I like that. I wanna go back to what you said though, medical doctorate degree, because yes ma'am, but how do you go about balancing all of this from being a physician to now starting this children's series? And I know you said they kind of go hand in hand. But what does your day-to-day look like?
I mean, it's just about knowing my limits, knowing what the most important thing is. I'm all about sending out a positive message, and now that I'm back in Dallas, Texas, I really wanted to pour back into the community that raised me.
Your own community, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about some of the books that are on the table. Let's start with this one first, if that's okay. Amara's Big Scary Race.
Yep, so in Amara's Big Scary Race, Amara has trained very hard for a track meet. She wants to win a gold medal. Unfortunately, she experiences an accident on the field, and she's faced with a decision of whether she's going to quit or keep going. And Erin, what she discovers is that sometimes a setback can set us up for success.
Yes, indeed, a major comeback. Okay, let's come over here. I used to actually play soccer, so I'm feeling connected to this one.
Yeah, so likewise, in Emeka, the great footballer, Emeka wants to be captain of the soccer team. However, a moment of impulsivity gets the best of him, and he has to wait a whole year before he can try out to be captain again. But Erin, what he learns, much like Amara learns, is that sometimes the waiting room is where warriors are built.
Yes.
And he learns that in the story.
Ooh, I like that because waiting is a very hard lesson to teach, right? Patience is a very hard lesson to teach. So being able to see it in a children's book first and then saying, okay, let's apply it to real life. I know you want this right now, but maybe we can sit in the waiting room until it's our time to receive it. I like it. It's simple, it's childlike, it's relatable. Almost. Some adults might need to read the book every now and again. I love this. How do you go about finding such an approachable way to tell the story?
Yeah, I think for me, it's that it's important to learn these lessons for anybody that knows that they want to do great things in life. And so I specifically chose these topics of patience and perseverance because from my experience, they lay the foundation for anybody who wants to do great things. And so it was important enough to put it in a children's book. And it's important to tell it to children because if they can learn these concepts early on, they'll have a leg up for success in the future.
And there's so many concepts in there. I mean, we only named a few. Do you hope that they start to be able to pull different ones the more and more they read them? Because you know they're not going to read them just once.
Right, exactly. Patience, perseverance, also along with that, grit, determination, knowing that we don't always get things right away. Sometimes we have to wait. And in our next book, Chica and the Spelling Bee, children will appreciate identity, understanding that sometimes what we think harms us can actually work out for our good.
Yes, indeed. Okay, I like that. So plenty more to come.
Yes,
I love.
Definitely.
Okay, tell me, how can we keep up with you so we make sure we get the next book that's coming as well?
Yep. So these books are available online wherever books are sold. However, they're readily available through Amazon. If anybody is interested in bulk book orders, they can contact me on my Instagram page, Obi the MD, with underscores after the first two words, or our Facebook page, the Overcomer Series Children's Books.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for being here this morning. I feel a little persevered myself this morning. I feel ready to go. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.